Hello, hello. Welcome back to another Fury of Dracula game from the Continental Cup. I'm playing as hunters in this one, and I'm playing against Snuffleupagus, my fellow admin. This is probably going to be a bit of a messy game from me. It's late at night, fairly late at night. What time is it? Almost 11? Yeah, after work week, and I'm very sleepy. Partly because of the hour, but I've been sleepy all day. It's been very hard work. And we might get interrupted by a baby who is refusing to sleep and may have only fallen asleep at 2 a.m. last night. So yes, apologies in advance. This is suboptimal, we shall say, but we shall do the best we can. We are actually, so this is the 4th week of the Continental Cup, so we're almost halfway through, and we're actually in the lead. Go Team Europe. We're half a point ahead, but there's obviously this game that we're watching now, and then 2 more to play this week. But that's pretty good. If I can get a win here, we'll extend the lead to 1.5 points, and then the worst case scenario is if we lose the other 2 games. We'll only be down by 1 point, and all the way through we've been 2 points behind. We were 2 points behind after week 1, now we've stayed that way ever since, so if we're able to just pull it back just to 1 point, but if things go really well, we could have quite a big lead, so we'll see. John van Harker, I'm just going to ally, because I don't know what's going to happen with newspapers. There's no point searching when it's just going to be near impossible to find him. And then you just give me blood transfusion, thank you very much, game. Horses are nice, and speed telegraph's very nice. But because of the risk of vampiric influence, because of the dark call rule, we may have to take that horse off her. But we'll see. We'll just play it by ear, really. Not much we can do about it. So normal stuff. So yeah, with John van Harker in play, that means deduction is reduced, which is nice. It's a bit of a shame that we drew this before Dracula did something wacky like a wolf form or something. But it might have scuppered his plans a bit, or maybe not. I'm doing Oktoberfest start again just because I was thinking of maybe changing it, but I somewhat decided not to put myself in that sort of situation where I'm thinking about a different setup. Really? Both blood transfusions were in the top 5 cards of the deck? Wow. Oh yeah, sorry, my microphone's also just randomly cutting out, so apologies for that if I just disappear. Or you hear buzzing noises or whatever. I need to get a new headset. I like this one compared to my previous one. It's a much better in terms of sound quality, but yeah, it just keeps randomly pinging, which is very frustrating. Apologies if I yawn. If I sound tired, it's because I am. Okay, we're getting fairly good horse economy, except oh, there's a white one. I was about to say there's no white ones, but there's one of them. No dark core availability for Drax, that's good. But yeah, really poor. I mean, 4 warns, nice. But then 1 good luck, 2 blood transfusions, and speedy telegraph are the first 5 hunter cards. Oh, there's also Harker. That's true. So yeah, not the best, but we can only go up from here. That's basically rock bottom. Well, if we got long night, that'd be worse. Makes sense to put the room token out now, because it might be the one that's hardest for you to find. I'm more likely to find vampires afterwards because of Harker. So fast horses, nice. Double dog, sorry, Philly. Hypnosis, okay. If we're okay, we got double forewarned. Okay, we'll take it. There's the long night that I just spoke about. Stake, and again, no dark call. Nice. Okay, so we're stopping Dracula with the dark calls. Okay, we're going to take knife off you, I think. I think we actually trade with Godalming here. Oh. What's Sword's item pool like? What's Mina's like? Oh, we got pistol. Yeah, I'm gonna actually... Oh, man, do I trade? Yeah, I'm gonna trade with Sword. Yup. Let's get the horse over to him. Just get everything over to him, I think. Oops. Oh, like that. And I think... I kind of wanted to do it a different way. Ah, well, this is fine. We'll just do it like that. Then we'll do you. White one. Nope, not white one, but better. You can discard events. Although it's kind of telling Dracula I've got crap events on this side. But that's okay. We do need to get the hypnosis traded. But that's fine. We should have slots for that. That's not a problem. Okay, I really hope he's not in England, because otherwise that is not ideal. Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got a horse economy going. Love it. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, yeah, I really hope he's not in England, because, yeah, Van Helsing... I actually threw away... Did he have Holy Circle? No, I think it was Godalming who did. But, yeah, Van Helsing is not equipped to be dealing with any shenaniganry over on that side. We've got 2 full ones on Seward, which we're going to have to sort out. Might do this, actually. Wow. Holy shit. Just give me the other good luck, please. Just put me out of my misery. Steak. Okay, well, we don't need 2 garlics, let's be honest. Oh, this probably means there's a Drac event under here, but I'm going to have to go for it, because we're not too hot in terms of the events. Oh no, it's actually a hunter event. Holy moly, this luck. Okay, so in that sense, I'm getting the luck. No, I think we're fine. We need... No, well, horse economy is actually not too bad, so we could actually just focus on trading, to be honest. Kind of want to give Mina this knife, to be honest. Although if she draws a really good item now, she's going to have to discard it. We could get rid of the stake and get rid of the pistol over here. Yeah, I think we're fine. Right, let's just start getting hypnosis moved around. Also, full one will have to get moved around as well. So I think what I actually do is I take forewarned off you. Do I take both forewarns? Maybe give one to Godalming? Or do I keep one on Steward? Maybe keep one on Steward. I think Charlie Carriage makes sense. Give you good luck. Do we scan? Why don't we just scan, actually, just for dominance? Okay. Yeah, no newspaper yet, but that's fine. It's not a problem. We do have Harker. We might have to get up 7 points here, which again is not great. But in this competition, IDS is not so critical, so it's just more about the game state that you just suddenly get 7 points at the beginning. But no Dracula event though, so not bad. Not bad. Yeah, my event discard, my item discards doesn't tell him anything. No Heavenly Host though. I've drawn no Heavenly Host, only 1 knife. So you need to bear that in mind for later on. Oh, we're going to have all these prompts because of flipping long night. Okay, we can get rid of them. Oh, there's a Heavenly Host. Right, okay, we're going to have to get rid of the bullets here, unfortunately. Oh my god. Oh man, this is just diabolical. Okay, alright. Oh, I've just traded with Seward. Oh man, I hate to see it. It's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Surprising return. Again, not great because we don't have an iron discard, but I think, yeah, we get rid of... No, yeah, you never know. Blood transfusion might be useful. Let's get rid of 1 long night. You have supply. Heavenly Host. Yeah, you see, I fucking knew it. Right, we'll get rid of the stake on you. Oh, okay. Oh, she's actually got quite good events. So I'm gonna have to. Oh, jeez, I'm gonna have to trade with Mina now. Huh. Right. Yeah, Glammy could get rid of bullets if need be. Yeah, missing research, we need to trade. Oh, he could actually Dark Hold tonight. Do I just, like, preemptively give Mina's horse away? Is that stupid? How likely is it that this is vampiric influence? I think we're going to have to gamble that it's not. Okay. I don't want to trade with you. Should have given maybe you. Oh, I should have given you Charlie Carriage actually. Oh, god damn it. Okay, let's trade with Mina? Yeah, sure. We do it like this, maybe? Right, let's trade with Mina. No. Trade with Dalming, because you need to take the hypnosis off him. That's right, that's right. I think I just give you a forewarned. There's no way you're losing it, right? You got a card to discard, you got 2 cards you can discard it. Fine. I think we just do tickets again. Nope, okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh. He might Dark Hold now. I watch my world yet come tumbling down in front of me. How bad is this going to be? Oh, okay, it's not a play immediately. Okay, I think we take those, to be honest. No newspaper reports. That is what it is. So we just... Fuck. That's not ideal. We're going to have to do this. But that's okay, though. Oh yeah, we haven't seen any Garlic Reefs yet. So that means in 3 of these 10 cards are Garlic Reefs. Right, Mina gets an event. Kind of unfortunate because she's actually got really good stuff here. No. Do we get rid of Crucifix? No, I don't think so. Oh, fuck. That's not ideal. Yeah, I actually had to trade with her. Oh man, yeah, I should have event traded for Hypnosis sooner. Speed Telegraph is really important here because of Hypnosis potential. So I have to get rid of Charlie Carriage, which really sucks. Yeah, I didn't plan that one through. But then if the deck was in a different order, if Van Helsing had supplied that instead of her, then it would have been fine. It is what it is. Nothing you can do about it. Right, let's go digging again. Oh, that's nice, but I gotta throw it back away. Right, okay, so... Mina should probably trade for a second knife, I presume. Does Seward take a knife here? Is that too predictable? Maybe it's a bit too predictable. So let's skip. Oh jeez, I've got so many things I've got to do. Right, let's trade Hypnosis. Let's trade the Hypnosis. I think Plan Ambush has to be on you, because I don't know who's going to bump into him. I think we do it like this. Kind of want you to have Blood Transfusion to show, so that we don't know that you got great strength. Or Hypnosis, rather. So maybe do this. Surprise Return will be the one they have to discard. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're going to move. So let's take that second knife off you. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, not the best, not the best, but it's okay. Oh, well, he hid, so the chance of me reaching it would have been near on impossible anyway. I would have had two Charlie carriages. I think Seward has a Charlie carriage, so it is what it is. I'm not gonna cry about it. So I think what we do is we just supply a good army and charge forward with the other two, I think is the plan. Yeah. Okay, Vampire Lair is kind of nice, actually, to just avoid all of this. Well, to sort of negate the Vampire Mature. So let's get Seward over. Where do I think he is? He could be, like, in Budapest now. So do we just try and congregate there, maybe? Oh, you have wild horses. Oh, that's very interesting. Oh, that's very interesting. So, yeah, really unfortunate that the prompt gives it away, but there's not much we can do about it. So what that means is, once I do wild horses, he can actually push me closer to him. Man, I've got so much stuff I need to do. I need to trade for the Vampire Lair. I want to give planned ambush to Mina. How likely is it that Mina's... Is Mina going to get pushed into Dracula today? I gotta try and get this far. Like, we need to try and get these wild horses off him. But I'm not quite sure how I can do that. This is where Charlie Carriage would have been very useful, because I can just completely circumvent those. Real trade for Vampire Lair too. Fuck, do I really day trade? No, I think we have to supply. Oh, that's really bad, because if I'd just done the trade, then Gadami would have got those. Ah, you... Ah, damn it. Oh, okay. Anybody wants planned ambush? Right. Okay. Where could he be? He could be. He's 3 away from Constanta, so he could be in Sarajevo. How likely is it that he's in Budapest? Or in Klausenberg, or somewhere adjacent? Can he push Mina into me? Oh man, this is tricky. I think I'm going to take the risk here and move forward. But this is kind of nice, because what I can do, I can actually give a planned ambush to Seward, and I can also give a planned ambush to Mina. So if they're the ones moving forward... Yeah, but you're fucking... Oh man, the fact the horse is over here is so bad. Yeah, this is not great. It is what it is. I've got Mystic Research that has to get used. Yeah, this is unfortunate. So I think we just do a fake trade here. Yep. Okay, so what's the priority here? Vampire Lair is not the priority. You have good luck that you can discard. I think giving planned ambush is very important here. So I think we actually do give one to Mina. Yeah, and I guess if Seward lands on his space, let's scan. He is. Okay, so what does that mean? He's 3 away from me. So he's probably in Sarajevo, would be my guess. Okay, Reckless Vampire matures, makes sense. Yes, he's probably in Sarajevo. Could be doing Klausenberg stuff. Yeah. Damn, this is like really unfortunate. 'Cause I do actually need charge carriage on Mina, because I could get pushed into like Sophia. You need to you just keep supplying. Yeah, is there a stake left in the deck? It'd be really nice if he could supply the stake. Oh, Sister Agatha. Ooh. Who has a surprising return? I still have surprising return, right? So do I want to search this? Maybe. Maybe I do want to search. It's not Sarajevo. Fascinating. Okay. So do we check Belgrade then? Because he's only 3 away from Constanta, so only be Szeged. Oh, is he in Zagreb now? Because of wild horses, I can't really do much about this. Let's check Belgrade. Dubai. Could be in Zagreb. But then he can just push me away, and I don't know if it's a bait or not. Let's check Belgrade. Yes, yes. Hit me with your wild horses. Okay, oh, so he's not in Zagreb. Okay, that's good for me. That's very good for me. Damn it. Do I trade? You have planned ambush already. I think we do a day trade. And then play Mystic Research at night, and then Van Helsing leaves. I don't think that's controversial. Oh, Gadami has the 4-1, that's right. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, so I think Mina actually goes to Bucharest. I think I'd be a bit aggressive. Okay, I'm not on Dracula space. That's actually really good. Okay. Fine. Fine. I want like a sense of emergency on Godalming. Does Wild Horses activate on sense of emergency? Oh man, I don't remember. I'm actually gonna... Do I throw away this ticket? Maybe I do throw away the ticket. Right, you're gonna search this, and I think we just use the stake. It's a spy. Oh man, that's a tricky one. It doesn't ruin my horse economy in the sense of, you know, making it a risk. I'm going to show Forewarned and show all my cards to him. Is that a good idea? But it means I don't have to go and resupply up somewhere. Because he could just push me off Bucharest if he wanted to. Let me think, what are the other items left in this pile? Because Gadami's going to supply 2 of them, most likely. There's a Heavenly Host. There's a Gadami might get a second Heavenly Host. Oh, that's not ideal. Sorry, as my mic goes mental for no reason. Knowing that Sud has a Forewarned's probably not ideal. It does alleviate quite a lot of pressure. How likely is it that I jump in on him, is the question. I'll go my gut instinct and discard it. Hope I don't regret that. The fact I've got Mystic Research in play actually makes it more worthwhile to do that. Mystic Research. Oh! Oh, yeah! Nice. Nice. Okay. Let's get a ticket with you. And then I think we chuck that back in. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is nice. So we can go to a big city and supply up, and then instantly move. Yeah, I think actually having Mystic Research makes that obvious to discard. Probably because Darming is very likely to get two Heavenly Hosts here, and then Suit's probably going to be supplying Dross, unfortunately. But then again, with planned ambush, we could potentially. A lucky find would be amazing on Suit right now. That's okay. Yeah, I really wish. It's just if that horse had been on Godalming, he could be in Sarajevo right now. And no, we'd have so much pressure on Dracula. But it's okay. He could be around here, so we do have to figure that out. Nope. Oh wait, hang a minute. Do we get rid of the surprising return? Oh, we did get rid of surprising return. Well, that's stupid. Oh well, never mind. We might get the second one. There's the rifle. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Speedy telegraph. Okay. Right. Let's roll horses. But to be honest, I think just going to Bucharest makes the most sense. Are you going to reuse wild horses to stop me from supplying? Yeah, I thought not. Right, you need to get out of here. Now, what does Mina do? I think we just got to keep moving. I've got great strength, so I gotta be a little bit. So he's probably in Sofia. Sofia was probably yesterday's turn, I'd imagine. Oh, he might push me into him. Do I want that? Is the question. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Because I could have supplied with Seward and then whatever the whatever item it was that he got, I could have traded. Damn, that's a bit stupid. Is Dracula going to be aggressive? Yeah, I'm going to have to play a bit defensive here. But check if he's going this way. At least this way he can't push me onto his current position. I'm not going to supply. Oh, it's the. Oh, damn. Yeah, I should have kept Mean on the spot. But I guess what else would I have done? Because I'm going to now supply a Heavenly Host. Oh, hard skills. Okay. We just check Valona and Salonica. Right, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah, I wonder. Are you gonna put something down that's gonna really hurt me here? Let's take ticket. No. Okay. I need to go over AFK. Right. Recording's gonna be paused. See you in a few minutes. Okay. We are back. So it's actually quite a good time to sort of take stock where we are. So yeah, Snuff's made his turn. I was just thinking, wow, I was off camera, how I'm going to approach these wild horses. And if I've got planned ambushes and great strengths, maybe I should be actually be more aggressive and try and make Snuff burn these great strengths. Because the sooner he does that, then the sooner I'm liberated from them. So, yeah, I think maybe we might have to be a bit aggressive. Now, I'm going to have to take... I've got 2 speed telegraphs, I don't mind getting rid of 1. Oh, I've got a stake. That means I had to throw away a gun. But then he can play the... Yeah. Just make this all... Ah, okay. Yeah, I'll take excellent weather speed telegraph. Yeah, so he's probably... He's definitely in Valona. And the question is, do I jump on him? Maybe I do. But the thing is, he now knows that Sword doesn't have a weapon. Would you have put down some sort of weapon-based encounter? I've got forewarned if need be. Maybe we just... Do we just jump on him? How bad could this be? How bad could this be? How bad could this be? We could also move into Salonika. The wild horses would have to trigger wild horses trigger before. I could go to Salonika instead. If I send Mina to Sofia, he'll push her into Valona most likely. So maybe just... so if he's down a weapon, maybe I should have kept that rifle after all. Do I really want to burn all my strength on him right now? Let's go to Salonika and let's see if he uses the wild horses. I think that's better. Yeah, that's probably a better way to do it. He didn't. Interesting. Oh. Okay. Well, that's definitely interesting. I've got planned ambush on Mina, so I'm not overly concerned. Oh, okay, well, never mind. Never mind. Never mind then. Right, let's try and sort out this horse economy. Ah, I gotta throw that back in. That's unfortunate. Right, let's... Yeah, Sword searches this. Damn. That's unfortunate. I think I have to get a trade going. Yep, we have to get a trade going over there. Yeah, that is rather unfortunate. Right, what's the situation? Yeah, we can't allow Van Helsing to start wasting day turns playing Vampire Lair. Godalming plays Vampire Lair. Van Helsing gets over there faster. Yes. Yes. Sword states put heals. Mina moves to Seward, trades, and then they deal with the rest of this trail. I kind of like how this is looking. So, maybe take forewarned off you for now. And then in theory, maybe we do it like this. Yeah. Take a ticket. Oh, perfect. Improves horse economy. Nice. Now, is Dracula going to stay still is the question. I wish I hadn't thrown away Aggie now. For some reason I thought I still had Surprise Return. But it's okay, it's not the end of the world. I think searching there did tell me kind of what Dracula was doing, so I'll take it. kind of need him to sort of burn this these wild horses, and I never have to worry about them again. And Wercraft's in the house. Now, is he? How likely is he to hide in Valona? Yeah, not unlikely. But I do have planned ambushes and things. And the fact I've got double planned ambush, so it's double heavenly hose, double knife, is a good, definitely a good combo over here. So I can just get on him, but the thing is, if one hunter lands on him, he can just use one horse to push the other one away. So we kind of need a third hunter. Because I really want to try and get into a 2-on-1 with these two. That's what I really would like. He might stay put, because he knows that Sword can't move. Some ways I wish I actually got a 2 ticket, because I could have just railed there, and I avoid the wild horses. So yeah, not ideal, but it's okay. I can't really stop him from hiding. So I want to try and use these planned ambush aggressively rather than defensively here. So I kind of hope. I can't see why he wouldn't hide, to be honest. Because if he thinks Mina's going to move into him, again, if she moves into Sword space and uses he uses wild horses to push me into Valona, then at least the wild horses are gone. So I never have to think about them again. Vampire will be played before that happens, so there's no way I lose the game if Mina somehow dies. But I've got planned ambush if I really need to use it defensively. So I presume he's hiding. I have to assume he's hiding here. But the thing is, he knows that I know he has wild horses, so why would I be moving Mina aggressively if I didn't have defensive cards? That's kind of like the way that I would think. So let's use Vampire Lair. Let's just get this done. Right, you delete. Right, you need to get over to Sword. There could be a fog. Maybe he gets trapped for a very long time. But we're going to have to just take that risk. Now, he might push Van Helsing here, because he doesn't want... No, he doesn't. I'm just going to assume he's going to try and kill Mina. So the question is, maybe I just call his bluff and I stay still for one turn? I could call his bluff. Do I call his bluff? I have to get rid of Speed Telegraph. If it's a good event. How likely is he set up here a double fog? I'm just gonna take the risk here. I'm gonna try and make him burn this card. Because I don't want to be going to late game with this hanging around me, because then it just ruins potential renewed vigor plays. Oh, he didn't. That makes me think he's in Athens then. That makes me think he's in Athens. Right. Okay. I could scan, but I've got better things to do. So you're gonna heal. You shall do nothing, or do we do a supply? I think you should. Yeah, we got Mystic Research supplies. Let's use them. Ooh, nice. Okay, so it confirms to us about the wild horses. So now we're down to 4. Okay, so we've got Thursday. We have a fog, and we got 2 vamps, 3 vamps. I am very tempted to get rid of a vampire here, because I don't have a lot of stakes. I've only got... Well, I have got 2. I've got double forewarned, but I think just getting rid of fog, I think just makes our life a bit easier. Now you're going to do a trade. So we're going to do it like this. So now we're very well equipped. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Okay. So we know the fog's gone. He might have used fog already. I'm really surprised he didn't hide. I'm really surprised he didn't hide. So we've seen 1 reckless already. And then we know that there's 2 more fighting vamps in his hand, and then there's 2 more left. And we don't know what was discarded here. Godalming can join the fray. I'm just going to be very aggressive here and just move in with Godalming. Yeah, night supplies are great in this situation. Yeah, so we'd use 1 here for hide scouts. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, not the easiest game. But we're okay. We've got a stake over here. I could give the stake to Godalming. Oh, he's going to... Okay, that I didn't expect. I thought he would stay. Sounds very interesting. Let's take the crucifix. It says emergency is really nice. Supply and heal, I think. That just makes the most sense. Oh, yes. 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 Love it. Good. Now, could this be Adriatic, though, is the question. Probably is. So we might want to trade X and Weather. Yeah, I think you have to move. He has to be Hyde and Valona, right? No, he did actually go to Athens. Whoa. Okay. Right, so how do we do this? Maybe we trade X and Weather to Mina. Could this be Fog, though? Could well be Fog. Oh, hang a minute, I can't move Mina over, because I bet he'll move Seward off Sophia tomorrow. Oh, could it be a Vamp? It's not rumoured. Maybe we don't actually trade the horses here. I've got sense of emergency. Yeah, maybe we just do tickets. And we hold for 1 day. Oh no, he's not in Adriatic. Okay, it's fine. We can supply up. It's fine. It's not a big deal. You shall heal. Do we trade? Gut feeling is no. let's do that. Okay, so I can't really search for Mina here, because then it almost guarantees that this thing matures, right? Because he'll just push Suit off it. So do I do a Night Supply then? Okay. Another Charter Carriage. Do I want Charter Carriage on you, though, is the question. We might need the speed. Telegraph, Hypnosis Convo. Event managements, again, be my weakness. Okay. Okay. So he's in Ionian. He has to be going this way, right? So what I really want to... Is he going to push Suit off Sophia? He might do. But then Mina goes there. So Suit goes to Valona next turn and then deals with Athens, and then Mina goes... Maybe I have to give Suit excellent weather. We'll see. Okay, that makes sense. So three C's he could be in. So we'll skip on that. Right, Gnome Supplies. That's fine. Get rid of these things. Oh, I will definitely trade Blood Transfusion for Consecrated Ground. Especially the way my Heavenly Hosts are organised. Yup. Right, let's do that. What the layers? Belgrade's a layer. Okay. He didn't ambush me. That's very interesting. Okay. Do you supply or do you move to like Genoa? In anticipation that he's on this side of the board. And then you do like a Night Supply or something. Yeah, I think you do. You got forewarned. You're pretty well equipped. I think you searching Valona makes a lot of sense. Mob. Okay, fine. We'll take the damage. We'll take the damage. I could play Consecrated Ground now. I don't actually know where he is. You having a 3-2 ticket is pretty useful, actually. What would I do with CG? I could force him not to land on Cagliari. So I definitely know the direction he's going in. But to be honest... I think we just stay put. Yeah. Right, you're going to search this with a stake. Okay, it's fine. It didn't cost me that misclick didn't cost me. Right, you can supply. That's very unfortunate. Newspaper reports. Oh, you. I'm actually going to keep it, so it makes it look like I'm stronger than I actually am. And you're going to heal. Okay. So that's 2 Night Supplies left. Yeah, I don't know which way he's going. That's a problem. This means now that Mina has to be the one that deals with Athens. But if it's a vampire, he didn't rumour it. Yeah, Mina's going to have to go to Athens. That's really unfortunate. How likely is it that it's a vamp? Come on, behind the veil's drawn. So that's Saturday move. Saturday move was here. Friday move was here. Thursday move was here. So he was... Oh, so he would have placed this encounter before. So it could be a vampire, but it's not a vampire that I've seen then. Okay. Fine. I don't know where he is. Do I just hunch that it's Cagliari? I mean, it's not great, but maybe I should have done Speed Telegraph. Should have got a supply in. I don't know. Do I jump? I mean, what am I gonna do with him? I don't have planned ambush on you. Having you just supply makes the most sense. Okay, well, it tells me he's not there. Holy Circle. Not terrible. But there has to be a vampire. There'll be vampires coming. So, okay, right. We're just gonna play the long game then. It seems. What do you do? Can you get to Athens in time? Oh, you can't because of thing. Right, we have to go to Athens. That's unfortunate. But that means that Seward can just book it west from that point. What's her health? 7. Okay, that's fine. Do we do a night supply with you? I don't think so. You can't. You've got amazing events, but your items are meh. I think we have to give excellent weather to Mina. Yep. I kind of want to see what this thing is first. But I think giving excellent weather to Mina is going to be necessary. Just to get her around faster, and then Van Helsing can just stay where he is. I'm having to reveal stuff, which I hate. Maybe just show hypnosis. Right, how bad is this? Is this gonna be a vamp? It's not. Okay. Fine. Fine. That's okay then. He can't dark hole. Well, he could dark hole, but not benefiting from it. Okay. This is nice. What's his health? 10. So he feeds you up to 13. Okay. Yeah. This is good, I think. I could move Van Helsing to the sea here and Mina over. And that'll sort of deter him from staying on Cagliari longer. Does Seward has chartered carriage, right? He does. So get to Budapest. Yeah. I have to make very bold assumptions. He's not sitting in Constanta. Or in Venice. Yeah, we actually really need the hypnosis, I think, don't we? I'm just making the assumptions in Cagliari. But that might be a very bad assumption. So yeah, we'll reveal Heavenly Host. We got planned ambush, so I'm not worried about revealing this to him. Okay. Well, that could have been a lot worse. That could have been a lot worse. So. Could move both Mina and Seward into Valona and do a psychic scan. That rules out Constanta. And then excellent weather to Venice, that rules that out. Is it possible that he's sitting in Venice? Do we have to rule it out with Godalming? Oh, please don't make me rule it out with Godalming. Gonna have to, I think. As much as it pains me. Okay, let's roll horses. Well, that's bad. Let's just check Constanta then. Now he might play wild horses here to try and bluff me. No, he didn't. Okay. I guess that bluff only works for a certain period of time, right? Now, there's no fog. We know there can't be fog here. Could it be double vampire? Yeah, it could be double vampire. Which is not ideal if it's Van Helsing of all people coming in. But maybe we have to do this as like a deterrent. And then Mina X and Weather's over. I've got 2 night supplies left. I feel like I should be holding them. Okay, let's see what he does here. Because good thing is, if I can even just do some damage to him in combat, I can. Well, he's gonna feed before, right? So I mean, am I gonna get 11 damage in on him with these 2 hunters? I don't think so. And obviously, if he leaves now, it tells me it's either Cagliari or he's done like a Bari trick on me. But I've got hunters that can respond to it. Okay. So is he on Cagliari? Looks like the answer might be yes. Oh man. I really wish he didn't have renewed vigor. Really wish he didn't have renewed vigor. Well, I could jump it on him now. But yeah. Could this be double vamp? It's quite likely. I wish it was like something I could forewarn. I could use the second renewed vigor action to kill this. That's a tricky one. I mean, I could also then trade planned ambush off, but then it's not. Oh, lucky find actually. Lucky find would be really good here. I just get rid of the stake, but then what do I do about the vampire? That's the problem. I really want to clear the path for Mina if it is 2 vamps. Because she's not, in terms of health, in the best spot. And I really want to try and get Draka down on the health low enough. They can't really do much. I really hope it's not 2 vamps. But again, the chances are quite high that it is. And would you feed if it's not 2 vampires? That's the thing. Might just go for it though anyway, and play Speedy Telegraph, and then the other 2 can respond afterwards with supplies and moves. Yeah. Is this a good idea? Feels like a terrible idea. Feels like a terrible idea. If only it was Godalming. He's way better equipped for this sort of thing. Consecrated Grand doesn't help me here. Maybe I should play it last turn so he doesn't feed. Maybe just do it. I don't know if I like it though. I think... Yeah, problems if it's double vamp, then Mina's going to take so much damage. Most likely. And I really want to use Van Helsing's second action to get Lucky Find, rather than having to stake a vamp. But staking a vamp would be better. Maybe I call his bluff. Or don't call his bluff. I've got time. So yeah, maybe we just do supply. Yeah, there's not many better events I could get. But I should probably move into a better position. Well, I'll actually do it by rail. So then he can't screw me over here. Not that I think he would screw me over at this particular moment. I guess, yeah, Consecrated Ground's definitely interesting. Yeah, let's try to charge our way out of this. With Van Helsing to Mediterranean and Mina to Mediterranean. Yep. Yeah, because him dark holding here isn't very good. So, yeah, I think this is a good way to do it. I think we use up a night supply here. Pistol. Pistol over stake. Yeah, I think so. Escape route. Oh man, that'd be perfect on Van Helsing. Never mind. Okay. It's fine. Well, then we have different ways we could try and play this. If Van Helsing lands, if it is double vamp, he could just trade for the escape route and then stake. Yeah. Now, I might have to play Speed Telegraph here. I know, I kind of want to do Speed Telegraph with Hypnosis play. Or do I? I'm just thinking if he wolf forms from Med, I can then CG him. But if I play Hypnosis first, I'll know what region he's in, so it's not a gamble about where he is, which is great. Now I guess the question is, if he Dark Holes, do I go in? I guess I could go in, and then with my... Oh, you are Dark Holing. Wow, that is very interesting. So he has to be on Cagliari, right? Yeah, he has to be on Cagliari. So I could play Renewed Vigor and use Van Helsing's second action to obtain escape route. Yeah, that doesn't sound awful. So then the combat with Dracula doesn't happen. He's forced to go to sea. Van Helsing's there with a vamp, which I kill. I presume. I could take a day fight if need be. It's not without risk though. I can't really wait another day going to Turinian. I don't know if I really like that. Is there any way this could be like fog or something? I kind of want to play Speed Telegraph though, if that was the case. Because I want to make damn sure he lands on Cagliari first. Because if it's not Cagliari, I have to then go to other places. Do I do this? Or do I just wait? Like, I don't want to just assume it's Mediterranean. Although it probably is. Yeah, I think we do this. This could go south, but I have got great strength. So, right. So we move you first. Okay, he is here. If it's only one vamp, and this is something I can forewarn, I could use the second action to stake it. If I really wanted to. Yeah, there's a big question now. Do you ambush me? This can't be vampires then. Unless there's one vamp and the other thing is not. Don't ambush me. Oh, you have. Okay. A new vampire. Okay, makes sense. I can't kill it, so I'm just gonna run away. Like any good old man should. Take maximum 4 damage here, but ideally not 4. Hopefully only 2. It all depends what this other encounter is. If he reveals it and there's only a vamp, I could stake this vamp. I could stake this vampire. If I only take 2 damage, or even better, 0. It's something I can forewarn. Stake it, move Mina in, have a 2-on-1. Get him down to enough damage that he can't go to sea. Or if he does, he's very vulnerable. Okay, cool, we're out. He can't go to Turinian, so this hasn't worked how he's wanted it to. So I know the direction of travel for him. So I'm not looking at combat. because it's what happens in combat here is not really important to me. Oh, interesting. You've not revealed this encounter. Huh. That's very interesting. Okay, so here's how we're going to play this one. We don't move Mina in. We take Escape Route off Seward and probably take Planned Ambush off Seward. Just in case. Yeah, definitely a just in case scenario. Escape Route the Dracula fight. Then, once Dracula's left, I stake the Cagliari vamp, and then if there's another vampire on hide, I could play an ambush against it, but it's probably going to be a day fight, so I don't have to do that. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Or do we even need planned ambush then? I think the answer is no then. It might be better that we just have planned ambush, because I can then I can trade it to somebody. You're going to take another event. I guess you don't need forewarned anymore. Oh, we got 2 forewarns on the same person. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay. Guess we don't need planned ambush. Planned ambush on Seward makes sense. He's got how many? Yeah. Let's do that. Okay. So I will guarantee this. Yeah. And then supply. Okay, we'll take a gun over crucifix. Money trail. Now it's a tricky decision, because he might go really far north here and towards Britannica. So we might need some of this extra stuff. How likely is it that we need great strength then? Maybe we don't need great strength. Sometimes we might need a good arming, because he's not got movement otherwise. If he goes up towards Britannica, we could use a horse. Yeah, okay, we'll get rid of the sense of emergency. No, do we? Still a lot of horses to consider. Yeah, we'll get rid of sense of emergency. I'm sure we'll be able to survive. Right, okay, you shall move. Okay, that's not ideal. But that's quite good, because we can put you in Milan, so... And... Okay, so if that's the case, you shall move into here. And then supply. It's fine. Hired scouts, wow. Okay, never mind then. Right, yeah, we escape route this, because we don't want to... Well, we're not interested in fighting Dracula with just a pistol. Thanks. Yeah, the horses are unfortunate that they're over here. But, yeah. It is what it is. There's not a lot we can do about it. Okay, that's fine. We can still get to fairly decent places. I've still got 1 night supply left. I don't want to use it right now. Okay, our horse economy is perfect. It'd be really great if we could move off Cagliari tomorrow. But I don't have the planned ambush, so... Yeah, I don't want to risk fighting to a vamp here. I do have great strength, but... Because we might only end up with a 2-on-1 with Dracula. Do we just do a night supply then? Could be decent. We could also heal. Maybe better that we heal. And you should also heal. Okay. So, yeah, we're just trying to play the waiting game here. So I've blown strength in terms of renewed vigor, but we got consecrate ground and hypnosis. Unfortunately, not with speed telegraph. So, but it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it. I kind of want to stay put where I am, to be honest. But maybe Bordeaux might be a better place to be. It's just frustrating because I need to get Mina in the same place as another hunter. Maybe just stay where we are then, and just not overthink it. Do we move Seward this way? Kind of like Seward to block Genoa actually, so there's no way he can escape to sea, and he's forced inland. It makes this very enticing though. I suppose I could check Genoa tomorrow, so let's apply instead. Maybe we should have kept sense of emergency. Right, let's deal with this before anything bad happens. Oh, it is 2 vampires. Huh, he didn't ambush with the second one. Okay, so that vampire's gone. We don't have to worry about the influence. And then I don't even have to worry. I'm surprised he didn't ambush. I guess he wanted to make me think it was fog. But I did say quite a long time before it was probably double vamp based upon the hand I saw. Right, okay, so no Fang attacks here. Mina supplies. Yeah. Yeah, we just play Hypnosis tomorrow. Yeah, I don't really care about what happens to Godalming. To Van Helsing here. Okay, fine, he's going to take 4 damage. Yeah, I should maybe kept sense of emergency. I'm just thinking in advance he might just run all the way around to the UK. But that's why I got consecrated ground. So yeah, this is fine. So this is quite good because it means then Van Helsing can leave tomorrow. That's fine. We don't get any points for that. Alright, we'll dodge again. He might plot again. But yeah, I'm probably going to take damage here. So maybe Van Helsing's just going to be supply bot for the rest of the game. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Oh, you did plot. Okay, fine. I'm probably taking 4 damage anyway, right? Because if I punch there, my next 2 turns are going to be escape and dodge in whichever order, and unless I get lucky and he doesn't draw stuff to damage me when I do the escape, he's going to damage me anyway. So that's fine. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I'm just trying to. He'll probably wolf form, which point I play hypnosis, but he knows I have hypnosis, right? Yeah, he knows I have hypnosis. So yeah. Yeah, this is a very tense and tactical one. Yeah, so if I had punched there, then if I dodged, I would have taken that note. Dodge in round 5 wouldn't take any damage, but that's fine. Yeah, you just supply Mina. Because we might just luck our way into an event tomorrow, which helps us. Godalming's full, so we might have to take great strength off him. I'm kind of okay with that. Maybe... Yeah, maybe you should use up the last night's supply? Yeah. That's on the wrong hunter. That's okay. So I think maybe, yeah, we do forewarned on you, great strength off you, and then oh, you can't pay consecrate ground. Ah, that's right, you can't pay consecrate ground while at sea. How long is it we play money trail now? If he doesn't have a sea move, I'll be able to move Van Helsing over 2 turns, and then by then he would have landed. So yeah, I'm okay with this. Yeah, that makes sense, I think. Right, okay. What are you gonna do? It's still gonna be hard because I need to try and get enough hunters onto him that I can kill him. Um, Goddammit, actually not having horses is kind of important, but it's okay. And actually doesn't have a rail ticket to circumvent the... Is that the right word? Circumvent the wild horses. So if he's in in Geneva, for example, I can't yellow 2 rail there. But he, if he's that close to me, if he's in this area, because the question is, I need to do hypnosis. I kind of need to stay put with Godalming. Might get hide scouts. I've only drawn 2 this game, so if he's in Spain, I can nuke him. The thing is, he knows I got hypnosis, so he would never go into a spot where I can nuke him. He might go to Madrid, which then I have to be a little bit canny about the way that I play the CG, so then he's forced. Hmm. Yeah, I gotta be a bit careful. Do I want to go to like Santander? Maybe. But we'll see. All depends here if Dracula keeps moving or not. If I don't have renewed vigor, it's kind of unfortunate. But it's what it is. Like if I can find a surprise and return, then I think a 2-on-1 will be enough. Especially if I can get both planned ambushes in, but Seward's a little bit out of position in terms of... You're wolf forming, aren't you? Is this a wolf form? It is a wolf form. Okay. Right. I think if that's the case, I'm going to just operate under the assumption it is Iberia. And I could check Genoa. I think you supply makes sense because we might just lock our way into a hard scouts. So, and then that just overrides what? Oh, okay, fine. Okay, so I guess the question is, do I move Seward westward, or do I think he's in Genoa? Genoa would be a very safe spot for him because it's not very likely that I check it. I'm thinking about if he is in Madrid. It's a little bit difficult because I don't know if he's going to be in Saragossa. Yeah. Could check Genoa. I'm moving away from this stuff up here. He's going to have to use wild horses eventually. Oh, he is in Genoa. Whoa. Wow. Okay. Okay. It's a reckless vamp. There's no way he lets. There's no way that Mina gets into this fight too, right? If only I checked it with Godalming. It makes it. I need to do the hypnosis. So, okay. Um. Okay. So now CG's off the table. Um. There's no way he lets Mina into this fight too, right? That's actually where yellow 2 tickets would have been better for me. Yeah, there's no way he lets Mina into this fight. Um. Um. I'm trying to think where the lucky find comes in. I think having. Let's skip these. Do I play the Pandan Bush? There's no way he lets Mina into this fight. Okay, he gets another point. Fine. That's fine. The thing is, the best he can do is push Mina back into Marseille. Now, the objective here is make sure he doesn't escape his bat. That's very important here. He mustn't escape his bat. Because if he escapes his bat, then wolf forms. I am in huge trouble. Huge trouble. I do have CG, so I could block these spaces, but I don't know where he's. But he could also then escape his bat to Toulouse, right? So, yeah. I think I still try to move in with Mina here. Because he's either going to let Mina into the fight, and I think I can just kill him then. Or he's going to burn the wild horses. This is where renewed vigor would have been good. Because he can't deny any hunter getting in here. If Snuff is to survive here, he has to use wild horses against me now. But my objective with Seward is to get out of the combat. I know it sounds crazy, the fact that Draco's on low health. If things go well, I could maybe kill him. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I've used it there too. I'll see what his first action is. Okay, that's fine. CD's not great because he could go to C here. Right, so I think... Do we play Lucky Find? Maybe we do play Lucky Find, and we can see if we can get something that's better than a pistol. What's the situation of the discard pile? One rifle. 3 rifles. And you've got the 4th. Right, so that means there's no other escapist bat thing in there. I think we just play Plan Ambush. I don't think I can kill him in a 1v1. I'd have to play it so perfectly. The objective here is to get out of this combat. He cannot be allowed to escape his bat under any circumstances. I do have Hypnosis, but I do not have the time to be running around trying to find him and getting set up. So yeah, if I can... If he goes to C, he moves 2 C spaces, I play Money Trail, he's fucked. Escaping his bat is way worse for me. So I'm not necessarily... If I get bitten and ejected from the combat, I don't care. I just need Sword to live on enough health that he can then be relevant for the next day. You're plotting. We're definitely changing to a different card. Do I want to escape is the question. Or do I play my pistol and then play something like Escape or Heavenly Host? Because if I play pistol, he's on 6 health. If I get the Heavenly Host successfully against him... I think we play that. I think we play pistol, block the plotting, we then play Heavenly Host. Worst case scenario is that he's ejected from the combat. I've done net no damage to him, but he stayed in place. Best case scenario, he's down to 2 health. And that makes life a lot easier thereafter. I think we actually do this. Time will tell if that was the right call. My gut feeling is he's got a crap hand. Unless he knows I've got Knife Heavenly Host. Now, he must know I have Heavenly Host. Now, the question is, do I play Heavenly Host now? Or do I do something like a dodge? I could also just escape now. Sword getting bitten has basically no consequence on the game. Because it doesn't give him influence. I think we just go bold here. I've got follow-up if this doesn't work. Okay. Okay. This is really good. This is really good. If I want, I can try and kill him now. Or, actually, no, I've got a better idea. I think I escaped now. I think I escaped now. I know that sounds mad, because he's on 2 health. I can kill him. But... he can't go to C. So that's completely blocked off for him. And what I could actually do is I could force him into Milan, and I could get all my hunters in on him. Yeah, that sounds kind of nice, to be honest. So even if he heals... Yeah, maybe I should have saved that Heavenly Host. Because I could have... Well, no, because it means now I can't go to C. Ah, if he fangs me, he can go to C. Ah, but then his options are so limited. How likely is it that he fangs now? The problem is, fangs is like the only way he survives this. So maybe we dodge? Let's think. He can escape round 4. No, actually, no. Let's escape. Let's not. I don't run any risk of him escaping his bat. Let's escape. Okay. I could have killed him. But it's okay. I think that is still the right way to have played that. I think that was the right play, because I didn't know what he was going to use. If I played knife, I would have killed him. But if he broke my knife, he could then escape the next round, and then I could be in a lot of trouble. And just trying to get the coordination to find him. So I think, yeah, we play Consecrated Ground. He can't go to sea, so we force him into Milan. Yeah. And if I wanted to, I could just move Godalming only in. So maybe that's the case. Maybe we take planned ambush off Mina and then give it just to Godalming. Yeah, I think we do it that way. Snorri Snuff. Um. So, what is the way we need to do this? Yeah, permanent on Venice, I guess. Oh, actually, I could force him into Mina. I've just realised I have enough tokens. I've been counting incorrectly. Let's definitely put one on Genoa because I want to force him off Genoa because I don't want him sitting there and killing Seward. Yeah, yeah. I can force him into either Gadami or Mina. Yeah, this is amazing. Heal. Um, don't do anything to jeopardize this. Cool. Okay. Oof. That was a really tense one. Yeah, he must have not drawn fangs at all. Ooh. Yeah, that was a very tactical game that with the wild horses. That made things very tricky. And then the fact that Godalming didn't get the horses if Van Helsing had actually moved. But it's okay. It's worked out. So yeah. And he can't escape his bat during a day fight. So we can play this any sort of way. We could yeah, I could just go Godalming and literally just if he goes into Godalming I could just throw the kitchen sink at him. And I don't care what happens really, because then Seward and Mina can move in, all being well. If he moves into Mina, I just play planned ambush immediately, and he can't win. So, yup, it's looking very good for us. So we're gonna get another point for Team Europe. Come on, and that means we will be 1.5 points ahead, with 2.5 more to play this week. So best case scenario, we can have a 4-point lead. Worst case scenario, we'll be down 1 point. But whichever scenario it ends up being, it's still good for us because we are further ahead, or we're closer than we were at the beginning of the week. So all good. He's moving to Mina. Let's just end this and play Plan Ambush. Oh. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see if Snuff maybe would have played Wild Horses differently. Now in hindsight, but yeah, it's really tough though. They made that game really awkward, and having to play Renewed Vigor at a very tricky time. The Genoa thing, I'm really glad I spotted it. I don't even know if I verbalized it very early or not, but it's just the fact it gives him a Tyrrhenian escape. He was planning around the idea of CG. And the fact also I had hypnosis, right? So you're fanging. Okay, I will. I will knife you then. Thank goodness I made that trade earlier in the game. Planned ambush with these two items is really nice. Boom. Nice. Very good. Yeah, the sea escape option was very on the cards for you. Did you expect CG? You're kind of interested to know why Snuff did that. Oh, you did expect CG. Nice. Okay, well played then. Oh, well played on that. Yeah. Um. Oh, looks like Snuff's gonna come in here. Sure. Okay, let's do that actually. It'd be actually kind of nice actually to talk about the wild horses. Um. Because it is a very, especially since it got updated. Sweet. Oh Jesus. Oh, let's make sure that the people at home can actually hear you, Snuff, because I disabled Discord. There we go. Right. Let's see if they can hear you.
Yeah, I still have my recording running as well. Although I'm sure there will be more people watching yours. Um, yeah, GG well played. Yeah, I did assume you had CG given how much of the deck had gone by, and by the fact that you had been careful to keep a hold of your heavenly hosts.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of figured you had it. Um, I did not draw um, fangs in the combat with Seward.
Mm.
Um, I was expecting the Heavenly Host because I figured Seward didn't have a knife. I assumed when Seward got hit by that bodyguard at the beginning that he had horse, Heavenly Host stake or something like that
Very
at
good.
that point.
Very good. Yep.
So even just figuring that there had been a trade to give the Heavenly Host to Mina, I assumed that all the knives were elsewhere. So I was planning to Fang if I could against Seward, especially when there was no Aggie, but I never drew a Fang.
Oh.
So by the end, when I hadn't drawn a Fang and I had gotten you to 3 health with Seward, and I had to choose to play Strength in case you had played the pistol, or Claw in case you hadn't played the pistol, um, I figured you would think that I would assume pistol, and that I would play either Mesmerize or um, or a Strength, and so I thought I would roll the dice on hitting you with Claw. You did escape, but the great strength prevented that from being helpful to me.
Hmm.
So, um, although I'm not sure that it would have changed the outcome because I would have still been forced to go to Mina or Godalming.
Right.
Um,
Because of the CG tokens thereafter. Yeah.
in
Uh.
hindsight, I should have moved Mina to to Marseille, and I thought about that. But I
Mm.
figured if I was able to escape, I would rather have her there. Like if I had a better outcome and I could maybe escape as Bat from the combat in Genoa, I would rather Mina be in Florence so she couldn't hypnosis.
Yeah.
But it turns out that was a bad gamble. I thought about going to Godalming after getting whittled down to 2 with Seward because I figured I knew what Mina had. I figured maybe Godalming had 2 knives. I kind of thought that Helsing had a knife and Godalming had a knife. But I figured, well, Mina only has one other event. Maybe it's safer, and at least I know what she has, even though it's going to be a gamble. But I don't know. I figured I'd be dead regardless, but
Yeah, it was a tough spot. I mean, when I went into that combat, I said very clearly that the only thing I cared about was making sure you didn't escape as Bat. Um, that would have been very much worst case scenario, and it would have been so bad for me. Because even though I had hypnosis and stuff, I would have preferred you go to C because I had the money trail, but hypnosis requires more setup. And also then because I had no speedy telegraph because I'd burnt it, I wouldn't be able to play hypnosis in a way that would have been efficient for me. Um, so yeah, my only objective in that combat was to try to make sure you just didn't escape as Bat. So I was tempted just to escape it instantly, but I thought, well, I can catch you with pistol. It does give you more information about my hand, but I just thought, well, fuck, I'm just gonna roll the dice and play Heavenly Host. If you just find me, yeah, it would have been annoying, and it would have meant you could have gone to sea, but I would have preferred that outcome over you escaping as back, because then you would have got Wolf Form back as well, um, and
yeah,
you could basically go anywhere on the map. And even though I had Hypnosis, Godalming didn't have horses because the horses went to Cagliari. That was a misplay on my part. So if you managed to get escaped back from that combat, I think you'd just win the game just through make it into fourth week and just accumulating the points you did need. I don't know if I would have caught you in time. I would have burnt a lot of my strength. Um, my only the only gambit I could have done is potentially just use CG to throw into like Munich if you had escaped us back to there and block off the east. But then if you weren't there, then I don't know what how the rest would have panned out. So it was a really tricky one with the whole thing with Seward. I agonized over that rifle for ages with that spy. I think in hindsight I should have kept it because I got hit with those bodyguards. But then I managed to trade them. They both had planned ambush very early actually, so I was like, well, this actually works out fine. Um, I was expecting actually when Seward went into Salonika, I was expecting you to have hidden in Valona, and then you would have used potential wild horses to push Mina into your location in Valona. And if there was fog or something, Mina could have been trapped there for quite a long
Mm,
time, and you could have fed old Darkhold on top, and that you could have maybe. I had great. I still had great strength at that point, but still, I couldn't stay alive forever. And you just if you get the right combo of cards, then you could kill her. But it's really tough playing against wild
yeah.
horses.
Yes. That was a really lucky dark call draw on my part. Um, yeah, when we were at that early stage of the game, I started off fairly concerned for my safety, right? Because there were all these hunters near me. And I saw you were drawing a lot of events. And I saw that, I didn't see the stakes or heavenly hosts. I'm sorry, not stakes. I didn't see the knives or heavenly hosts in the discard. So eventually I kind of deduced that you only had two horses. So that made me a little safer. And I had wild horses, so that made me a little safer. And um, especially after you tossed the rifle, I was like, okay, you you dwelled on that decision for so long that that told me a lot. I mean, it told me that probably that was Seward's only weapon, and that's why you were taking so long because you weren't sure if you wanted to get rid of it or maybe potentially toss a white one away. It was hard. So that made me feel safer, and I thought, okay, I know Seward has a stake. I know he's a little less of a threat to me. I'm a little bit safer than it would look with all the hunters nearby. So I thought my best play was to not play any of my vampires, just store them away for later, and just put um, damaging cards, and then later the soil, even though I knew the soil would get wiped, stuff that would help me clean up my hand and make you take longer. Especially because I figured that you've played me enough that you know I like to put bats in Sophia, and indeed I did put a bat in Sophia.
Hmm.
I was like, well, okay, he's gonna see he's gonna expect bats and vamps wouldn't really get me very far here. So put down other stuff, try to spend a little bit more time in the East, and then move. Was kind of the approach I took. I was very happy. I was wondering if you might, after seeing Valona and Salonika, second guess yourself and think maybe Sophia is not a bat, because surely if it was a bat, that I would play a vamp after it, right?
Hmm.
And I was very pleased to see that you did go search that, because it bought me a little bit more time in keeping Seward out of the action. I'm not sure how much difference it made in the end, but it helped a little, I think.
I was just wondering because depending on the timing, I can't remember exactly when you obtained wild horses, but there could have been easily a way where it could have been a hoax or something of that nature. And I mean, I'm going, oh, I have to now say, I have to dedicate two hunters over here because you could just send Sud away, so then Mina has to then go and deal with it. So I was thinking of any sort of potential sort of trap. I think it's been my memory's not as good as it used to be because I'm not playing as frequently. But I hadn't remembered that you specifically like playing bats and stuff, even though it is a fairly common thing for people to do because it has a lot of connections and it makes a lot of sense to do it.
Right.
But I just thought, you could easily just throw a hoax in and you use these wild horses now that you've got them. If you're able to play the Sophia encounter after obtaining wild horses, you could plan around that. Um, and or even if something really benign like the bats were. Imagine if you'd pushed Seward away with bats, and then I think, oh god, now Mina has to go and deal with it as well, and then she would have got hit by bats. So there's a number of things that could have happened with that, all that stuff over there.
Yeah, in hindsight, maybe I should have played a vamp in um, Belgrade and forced him there and made you'd probably use your planned ambush to get out of there, um, if you could.
Hmm.
Uh, but at the time, I didn't know that you would land on Sophia, so I was like, okay, well, just throw some trash in the Belgrade layer, play it straight, and you probably, I mean, maybe you'll land on Sophia, maybe you won't, but at least I won't waste a vamp on something that might give me no value. And I'd be pushing you towards me, so if you did burn the planned ambush and get away from the vamp, me pushing you in that direction would be kind of counterproductive.
Especially with the wild horses gone, you can't suddenly push me back the other way later. Um,
Yeah. And I was really pleased that you intentionally avoided the Sophia lair um, when you had a bad horse roll and
mm,
would have otherwise gone onto it. Um, it didn't make a huge difference, I don't think, but it was kind of entertaining.
Especially with the chartered carriage, but it actually did like a double whammy. The fact I rolled that yellow one because I didn't actually know where you were. You could have landed in Constanta. Um, so I thought I'll just check Constanta just to make sure that you haven't tried to do something really tricksy. But that whole all that sort of game of chicken with the Mediterranean and Tyrrhenian with Mina and Van Helsing, like I almost went in when they were both in the Tyrrhenian, and then when they're both in the Mediterranean, I almost went in. Oh, I think kind of the timing with it, but yeah, I almost went in. I undenied over so long, and then realized, okay,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go
I
diving in.
was. If you had gone in, I was really worried. I was worried that you had like a renewed vigor combo that would get a third hunter in there.
Nah.
Um, if there was a 2v1, I was thinking, okay, I have two vamps. I can hopefully get. And Mina only had 7 health when she was at sea, which kind of made a difference because it's relatively easy to get two vamps to get you down to 3 health,
Mhm.
and maybe I'd get more than that. And if I got more than that, I assumed Mina did not have a gun, which meant that if I got a claw in, Mina was very vulnerable to dying. And even though I was in kind of a tricky situation, right, with not having, like, if you get down to too little health in that situation, I could die quickly, right? I mean, because I was in CAG, I was hoping maybe killing Mina could be the trick I needed. Plus, there was no Aggie because
Mhm.
the surprising return was gone, and
Yep.
that makes a whole difference to the calculus too, because you can heal back up. But I was very worried about the potential for a 3 hunter matchup in CAG. I was kind of, 50-50. It kind of depended on what the drag cam draw is. Um, you know, like it might be good. I was thinking it might be good for me if you did take the 2v1.
Yeah, the thing was Van Helsing was very weak. He only had a pistol and a stake and a horse.
Oh.
Godami was the one that was loaded, and after I got to across, I was like, "Oh wait, am I going to re-regret now Godami not having a horse?" And I had a throwaway sense of emergency because I drew Money Trail because I thought you might then suddenly go running up to Britannica. So I thought I need to keep this Money Trail just in case. So I had a throwaway sense of emergency. Um, so yeah, once I realized you only ambush with one vampire, I thought I'm not going to go charging in here with Mina. What I really, I was I had a lucky find on Seward, so what I really wish I had done was somehow got lucky find off him sooner. So then Van Helsing would have walked in with the lucky find already on him. He could stake the vamp with his second renewed vigor action, and then he has lucky find for the combat, and I can move Mina in too. But then it would have been tricky because
Mm.
there was I didn't know if there was a second vamp or not, and there was a second vamp. So that'd be if you had ambushed Van Helsing, then I have to fight that Reckless basically twice, and then suddenly health becomes a huge issue. Um, so yeah, I can't remember when the escape route came along, but it came fairly soon to that. So as soon as I realized the escape route was a possibility, I was like, oh, this is fine. I can then just use Van Helsing's second action to trade the escape route. Um,
That
I,
makes sense.
I had a forewarned, so if there was something that was not a vampire encounter, I would then take the lucky find off, not stake the vamp because Mina can just deal with one vamp. I think it would have been fine with planned ambush and then a great strength lurking in the shadows as well.
I see.
So I would have done it that way. But the fact you didn't reveal what that hide encounter was, even though you could have got some influence with it from that reckless, but the fact you didn't reveal it, I thought, right, I'm not gonna risk this being a double vamp because he also didn't have forewarned. So I'm just gonna go and land and sort of just keep supplying up and just wait for the sort of the CG move. It must have felt bad for you having to dark call there on Cagliari and get no event card off of it.
Yeah, it definitely felt bad. I don't know. I think at that point I almost wanted you to come in because then maybe I could get heal a little bit. I was kind of optimistic about that combat, and that was part of the reason I don't know. I thought long and hard about trying to ambush you with that vamping hag. I don't know. I thought there was some possibility that maybe somehow Helsing did not have the stake, and you were planning on going in for the kill, and then you'd have some trouble later on.
Hmm.
I don't know.
No, it
I
is.
guess I probably should have ambushed.
That's a
Or
fair
maybe it could
fair
cause you to
assumption.
make a bad decision
Hmm.
that you didn't know if it's fog or not. But
Yeah, I could have easily come across with no. I mean, since I see a rumor token, I'm not risking coming across with no stake normally. Because then you're having to move a hunter off and then moving another hunter back on, and then it's just for inefficient. It's just very inefficient. The fact the escape route came along made the decision a lot easier. If I didn't have the escape route, I could have. I might have just ended up sending Van Helsing back to the Turinian, and then you'd have had to leave, and then I just go in after you. It would have been, a waste of like two moves basically.
yeah,
Um, there's a lot of like really sort of tense tactical stuff. And I think the wild horses kind of freak me out because I don't know when you're going to trigger them, and then it makes renewed vigor plays very awkward. Um, yeah, yeah,
did you have the second RV?
no,
Okay. I kind of thought you might because that was. It seemed like kind of an inefficient RV play. Um, but
yeah, I just needed the escape route. That was kind of the thing.
oh, that makes sense.
If Van Helsing had already had escape route on him, I would never play renewed vigor there.
Let's
But
see.
it also then meant for the other Huns they could kind of reposition a little bit and supply up a little bit more. But yeah, no, second renewed vigor, no, I can't really complain too much. The overall events were pretty good for me, but the if you watch the video back, it was so funny. I drew within the first like 3 or 4 days both copies of Good Luck and Blood Transfusion and Long Night. And I was
Wow,
just
yeah, it looked like you were stocked. You had so many
no.
hunter events. It's funny how different it can look from the other side.
And the problem is because I didn't manage the events properly, I had at one point throw away a child carriage on somebody, even though I had good lucks and blood transfusions all over the place, but just because of the timing of the events and things. Um, it was a bit tricky too because I was contemplating bringing Van Helsing over, and I decided to supply, and I can't remember exactly why I decided to do that. But I thought I'll just wait a couple more turns. I'll supply, and of course he supplied the flipping horse, whereas based upon everyone else's movement, Gadami would have supplied it the next day, which made my life so much easier because I could have been really aggressive, even though I knew he had wild horses. I
Right.
go, I don't care if you block one of my horses because I've got two more inbound and I've got double planned ambush and all that stuff. But then because then the horse ended up on Van Helsing, Konami had to sit there for ages. He never got that horse at the end because I never traded it. I decided to keep it on Van Helsing.
I saw that did seem kind of odd to me. I was like, oh, that's he had the opportunity to trade with Helsing and he didn't give the horse to Godalme?
Yeah.
That kind of caused me to scratch my head a little bit. I assume it was to get closer to the to be better positioned to stake the Vamp player in CAG.
Yeah, but then in hindsight, yeah, I mean, I did get across
Eh,
a little bit quicker that way, but then the horse is then stuck on Cagliari. But in the end, because I had CG and stuff, I was able to kind of manipulate the board a little bit, so I didn't need that horse. But if you had then escaped as Bat of Genoa, a horse would have been stuck on Cagliari. Konami has no other movement because Sense of Emergency got thrown away. So you could have then, if you were aware of that fact, then you would have just, you could have easily slalom around my hunters at that point. So yeah, it was a really dicey moment there. Um,
I was really torn about what to do after Med. I mean, my initial instinct was to go to Terranian and Wolf Tabari and then hide under fog, kill some more time. But I'm thinking, like, what's the play after that? I'm assuming you have a stocked up CG. So then I thought, you know what? I mean, I could also go to Britannia, but I think the numbers worked out such that I would be at low health and I need to land like right around the time Fury was starting. I think I might have I can't remember how the calculations worked out. If it was if I'd gone to if I had exhausted all sea space, then I get CG and killed, so I'd need to land before Fury. I think
hmm,
that's how it went. I think I would need to land one turn before Fury phase if I went to Britannia.
maybe
But
it depends if you Dark Horn Cagliari or not too. Might have had an influence on that can't remember.
But assuming you had CG, it's just so precarious to do that. So I figured I needed to land now. And I gave a little bit of thought to going to an inland Italian space, and a little bit of thought to going to Spain, but I assumed I was going to get CG'd. So I thought, okay, maybe the play is Genoa. He'll probably wait and use hypnosis, and then I can move to Venice under fog. It'll be a little bit of a waste because then my hide would be something less effective. I'd rather have the hide be fog, but I'd probably play it.
Hmm.
I'd probably play the fog for the regular encounter and then hide into something random. I only have the one fog, uh, but my plan would be to feed at that point and then just wait out a little bit more time. And at least then I'd have killed a little bit more time, give me more time to get my wolf form back. It would take a while, but I mean, then I could maybe create some confusion as to where I go from there and where I land. Um, I thought that was a little safer. And I thought there was a possibility that you might land on me and I might be able to get the escape as bad off.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you deduced it right. You kind of guessed my incentives right,
Yeah, especially
and you managed to make the yeah.
yeah, but got lucky too that you didn't draw a thing to counter the heavenly host. Because if you, at least if you'd be able to find that, you'd taken basically no damage. So it's bitten, but that's not really consequential. Um, I had a lucky find to get his fourth card if I landed on you again. But then the option of going to sea, would you, if you had found Seward, stop the heavenly host, you'd have been on still was it 8, 9 health, something like that. 8 health,
I'd be at 8 health.
right? Would
Yeah,
you
because
go to
you took two and I get back.
would you have gone to sea then? 'Cause I don't know. I don't think I would have played Consecrated Ground knowing that you could just go to sea anyway. I would have probably left
If
it
you did
open.
not play CG, I definitely would have used my fog and gone to Venice, and I would have hoped that I didn't get forewarned and get multiple hunters on me.
Okay.
Um, that's what I would have done. If I had gotten CG'd, that would be a difficult. I assume if I had gotten CG'd, that I would then go to sea, and then I would decide there. Okay, when do I play the fog? Um, do I go one space, two space, three space, whatnot?
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, if I didn't get CG'd, I would have gone and fogged Venice and tried to stay there as long as I could, unless I could escape his bat
Okay.
from there.
So the way I think the follow up I would have had to try to do there is anticipate you have fog. So Gadami wouldn't have made it to Venice because he had no express movement. But he had a forewarn, so I'd have to trade after the night fight, trade the forewarned off onto Van Helsing, and then be prepared to give it to Mina, so it had forewarned. So you wouldn't be able to stop Mina and Seward coming in. Um, but obviously, then it's a gamble. 'Cause I don't know if it is actually Venice. It could have been Milan, but I guess Gadami would have checked it first. So, but in the heat of the moment, I might have forgotten to trade the forewarned. Ready to give it to Mina, and then then it's a whole bluffing game about well, who do you fog? Um,
True.
so,
Um, I wonder what would have happened if I had gone and wolfed either to Spain or to Zurich,
hmm,
because those were options. I think in that situation, again, I would be assuming that I wasn't going to get land on that turn, so I would probably not have played the fog. Um, so I guess my question would be, okay, you didn't have speedy telegraph at that point, so Mina would be using hypnosis.
lost.
I
Yeah.
guess she'd be using hypnosis during the last day phase, so
Yes.
you would be able to CG me. And I guess in that case, I would probably Genoa would only have what, four move options. I would
Uh,
have to move on to you from not Geneva. I would have to move on to you. I think Zurich,
but the
same deal or no?
but the issue is right because obviously hypnosis, unless I got lucky with if I supplied with Gadami and Seward or Van Helsing and I got some sort of hired scouts or whatever. Otherwise, if it just said, "Oh, he's in Iberia," But the problem is I don't know if it's Madrid or Saragossa or Granada, and that means then some of my heavenly host placements would have been a bit inefficient. So there's a chance that I don't actually block you in fully. And also then because Gadami doesn't have great movement and you still had wild horses at that point, you might be able to survive one turn. And then if I get everybody on you, then the following turn, so 2 turns after you land, you could easily just fog the right person and then nothing happens. Same deal with Italy. I mean, it would have made it. I probably would have still moved to Genoa anyway, because I wouldn't want to play consecrated ground if you were in Italy and then suddenly realize, oh, you're in Genoa, it's useless. So I want to rule out Genoa anyway, and then go right. But I've played Hypnosis in Italy. That means I know it's Geneva or Zurich. But there's still quite a lot of connections, and I might not have got it right. And also then with wild horses, you could have manipulated it in a certain way. Um, so, um,
Yeah, I still think that if you had gotten the hypnosis and you would have been able to really make things difficult for me if I went to Italy. I might not have an opportunity to even because how many connections are there for Zurich, right? There's Milan, there's Munich, there's Nuremberg, there's Geneva. So if you started with that
And
one, you
Strasbourg.
oh, is that five?
Yeah.
So I would have somewhere to go that I could put fog down then.
Hmm.
Hmm. And if it was the, but then again, if you had done that and you had stayed in Milan, I don't know, I wouldn't know. I'd be screwed.
Yeah, but
Geneva would have nowhere to go to.
just without renewed vigor, a second renewed vigor, it makes my life a bit more awkward because you can just with wild horses get the right hunter and push them away at the most pivotal moment. So you might not have had to use fog. You might then be able to save fog for a later turn. Um, just depending how it all sort of panned out. So I don't know. It's kind of
In
funny.
hindsight, Spain would have been better, right? But I worried that that's easier to get to by rail, particularly if you had another chartered carriage or sense of emergency, which I know Ganami could get you sense of emergency to go the other way too. But I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be on a port. It seemed a little bit. I didn't know that you didn't have another renewed vigor. In
Hmm.
fact, I kind of thought you had another renewed vigor since it seemed a little bit cavalier the way you played the first one. So I thought, okay, maybe it's because he has a second one. No offense, but I mean, yeah, it wasn't a renewed vigor to jump on me.
Right.
So it made me worry more that you had a second one, and in that case, the rail connections to Spain seemed very threatening. Particularly if I got CG'd. I don't know. It was tricky in that way. And
Yeah.
if I did that right, even if I survived another turn and you jumped on me the turn after you hypnosis and moved me via CG, then I used my fog. In that circumstance, I might not have time to hide and feed and do all the other stuff like I might be able to do
Mm.
if I had gotten to Venice.
But then
So
again, CG would have been off the board, or in terms of like off the table, in the sense of like it's already been played. So you could have maybe got away with not hiding and feeding. You would have had enough health to be able to run out the clock a little bit. Even though I'd probably know direction of travel, you'd be heading north by sea. But yeah, I think it's just funny how it kind of panned out. How Juno was like the sneaky move, and it was the one move I didn't want you to make. But in hindsight, maybe just doing a safe Madrid move, not Granada, because I could have CG like nuked you. But in Madrid, I might have actually struggled to get my hunters sort of over there in numbers enough. And if I'd put the CG token in the wrong place, because Gadami only had a 2 white, so he couldn't get that far from Marseille. No, the second there's a charge card that got discarded, so there's one more, but it could have still been in the buried in the middle of the deck, so I wouldn't have got it. Second sense of emergency, neither. So yeah, just funny with the limited movement I had with Godalming, this kind of played into my hands a little bit the way you did play in the end, but you weren't to know that. Um,
there's certainly an irony to that. Because if I did get to the Genoa, right, if you didn't have charter, well, if you didn't have charter carriage, you would need two moves to get there.
mhm.
You could potentially get to Saragossa and with one rail, um, and I could very easily get forced to move there with CG. It's hard. It's a function of like trying to deduce what your opponent has, and
Right.
I don't know.
But the fact the hypnosis has to get played last means it would have been during the day phase, I suppose. So then at night, oh no, at night phase, Godalming couldn't get tickets because he had to play Consecrated Ground. Because I had to keep it on him. Because I knew Van Helsing, just in case Van Helsing left Cagliari, I didn't want the vital Consecrated Ground turn that it was stuck at sea and I couldn't use it. So yeah, Godalming couldn't sort out his tickets. Seward would have been a
Mm.
bit mispositioned to go to Iberia. But then he didn't know. I could have easily moved Seward into Marseille as well at some point, and then suddenly it's, you know,
And
it's a lot more
typically, the hunter
friendly.
that doesn't have the horse usually wants to have a more traditional rail ticket, like a 3-2. And I knew you didn't have perfect horse ecos, so it would make sense for the bad slash good ticket, the
Hmm.
3-2 ticket or the 2-2 ticket to be on Godalming in that circumstance.
Yeah,
So,
I
I don't
think
know.
that might be the counter to wild horses, just go by rails all the time. But
Yeah, that was another thing. I was very worried that like, I was worried that when I was in CAG, that you might use, and you had Seward in Vienna, that you might rail to Genoa and then excellent weather onto me.
yeah,
Usually, I thought that that might have been the play you were thinking of when you used that RV. And obviously, that didn't end up happening because I was a little bit relieved actually when I saw the horse move, but because I couldn't stop the rail move
no,
from Vienna to Genoa or the excellent weather. The white horses would have been useless.
yeah, that's right. But no, I didn't. I didn't have the second. Well, excellent. A second excellent weather did actually come along, but after all that had happened. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah, just a couple of turns early, and I would have had it. But even then, I wouldn't have had the train ticket to get down to Vienna. So I was just more focused on just making sure my horse economy was perfect. So when I did use it, it'd be fine. So yeah, a very tense and tactical one against another hunter win, but that was a very tough game. That was not easy as to. There seems to be a bit of a theme in this tournament, even though the hunters have got they've been running away with it a bit. The games, I mean, at least the games that I've been involved with, or the games I've seen, they've all been fair. You know, they've been very competitive, and they're not runaway victories. Um, I don't know how you feel
Yeah,
about it.
no.
Maybe you've watched more. I think you've probably just watched more games than I have, just because of availability and time, I guess. But I don't know. Do you share that sentiment, or do you think slightly differently?
I would say that most of the games have been pretty competitive despite the Hunter Drac lopsidedness of outcomes. I'd agree with that for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Well, potentially the nice thing, who knows the future hold. Potentially the nice thing is that given that this tournament is so small, that I might face you again and have another shot at this. We'll see.
Hmm.
Maybe, maybe not.
I'll have to see.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe on roles
I'm,
reverse. I want to try and get onto Dracula at some point.
you all had two League of Dracula champions on your team, and both of you. It hasn't been lost to on us that you all are both undefeated. So I was really hoping to sneak one here, but maybe I'll
Aye.
get another chance in the final 4 weeks
Oh,
to get you or to win.
you could have easily done it. Yeah, it was not a straightforward game at all. And then with the interruptions in the middle too, making it even harder, and having to while I was dealing with baby, I was thinking about my turns and like, right, what's gonna potentially happen next? So
Oh
keep.
yeah, I'm sure it was not easy. This is a very pleasant, week is over, 7 p.m. Friday night for me. I'm looking forward to the weekend and all that. And for you, it's the middle of the night now.
Mhm.
So definitely kudos to you for choosing to play at this time. I know it's not easy to schedule these transatlantic games, but um, you made a bold but necessary call in scheduling this when you did, and it has paid off for you. So I definitely respect that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for accommodating. Yeah, we're in the lead now on our side. I'll have to see what happens in the
Yeah,
remaining
this
two
brings
games
you
of
up
this
to
week.
1.5. You'll be
Mhm.
ahead by 1.5 overall
Yeah.
with two more week 4 games to go.
Yep.
So
But
we'll see. We'll see if we can tie it back up.
you could easily, or you could get a 1 point lead by the end of this week. You just have to see. Um, so I like the format. It's just a slightly different vibe to it. And I just think like we've got two former champions on our team. Well, I guess Out to Win is
Three.
the current champion, right? Oh right, then you got Geo for
Yeah,
the team tournaments as well.
yeah,
um,
yeah.
but again, it's about the whole team, and I think your team is, in terms of experience, is very balanced, and that makes it very hard when we're looking to try and work out, who's going to play who and weaknesses to target. There aren't really many, so it makes it tricky on our side. But it's good that it's close. That's what we want to see.
Well, for better or worse, we're just doing a rotation, so we don't put much thought into the matchups. You all could strategize. We just go on autopilot.
Yeah, but I
But
wonder if it gets really close towards the last couple of weeks, if that rotation of yours will go out the window or not.
we'll see. I don't know. Right now, it feels like our our assignments are in balance, as all things should be, as, as someone said.
We are trying to strategize as much as we possibly can, but I think a lot of it actually just comes down to availability because there's like at least three of us who have got young children, and then other out of game commitments and things. So a lot of it is not really strategizing. We're just who can play the 2v1s this week.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
I just
I
go
suppose
from
that is
there.
the downside. The downside of having a smaller tournament, but
It's good.
you guys have done a good job making it all work, so we appreciate that.
Likewise, your side. All
All
right.
right.
Well, I guess I should go to bed. I'll fill in the form immediately, and then I'll go to bed.
Glad to hear it. I'll do the same.
Better take care, Snuff.
All right.
Thanks for the game,
Yep. Catch you later.
and
Thank you.
GG's.
GG. Well played.
All right, and to everybody watching, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another Fury of Dracula game very soon. Bye, everybody.